And also we discuss about what is happening around in the colleges and institutions by the sharing by the participants. So this is roughly the content of this follow-up meeting. Now, before we go into, say, the screen which I am opening before you is the junction where we have stopped in the last meeting. So we have been discussing, we have started discussion about this relationships in the last meeting. So before we go into the discussion on this relationship and further the fundamental feeling, trust, let us take some sharings from by the participants. So in the previous week, if you have explored with regard to the content of UHV, you can place your sharing right now. Or any questions with regard to the content which we have been discussing in the previous weeks, like the health part or the self and body part or any other, you can place it here, or you can place any of sharing, your sharing over here. We will listen to that before we pass on to the today's discussion. So I welcome the participants to place their sharing. If you can raise your hand, mic can be given to you. Yeah. Meenakshi Sundaram ji.
Good evening.
Good evening. Namaste.
I am Meenakshi Sundaram from Virudhunagar. I am working in BSc in Polytechnic College. In last October, I attended a UHV program, and I was able to attend some sessions through this online later. The main thing, the main takeaway from this UHV course is you have to see the intention of others. When we judge others, we see their competence.
Yeah.
So that gave me a very good breakthrough in the relationship with my superiors and also my subordinates. This I was not able to get anywhere, though I am in a spiritual line. I feel that this you have to see the intention of others, not their competence, and you have to work to raise their competence. This was a very good realization, which has opened up a great thing, and also on gratitude. So these two things really has helped me a lot. I like to share it, and thanks to all the voluntary people who have brought this to us. So after that, we were not able to attend the courses because of the tight schedule, but I pray that I am able to attend the follow-up sessions and phase 2 UHV. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Priya. Thank you for the sharing. Now, as you rightly pointed out, the intention and competence part, this is the first thing which we discuss in this relationship and the feelings part. So today also we are going to open up this intention part first, and then slowly we open up this competence part. As you rightly pointed out, we have to see the intention of the other and see that the intention is same for every human being. This is what we are going to discuss in detail. And the competence, in terms of competence, every one of us is different. So if we can have this realization that the intention is our natural acceptance and competence wise everyone is different, then we can see the situations in a much better way. And as you said, it is not judgment, but it is evaluation. What is happening when we interact with other people is evaluation. That is called that way. When you go on judging somebody, so that is a different scenario, but let us try to evaluate first of all ourselves, and the mutual competence with the other person can also be evaluated. So in this line, let us proceed. And the UHV 2 workshops are coming. The face-to-face workshop will be available maybe during December, January, the next winter season. So you can register for that offline. Currently, the UHV 1 or the introductory workshop is going on for the faculty members. This week also, a workshop is running in English. Next week we have a workshop in Hindi, and the week coming after that we have another workshop in English that is going to run. And you can also join the weekly meetings for the faculty members, which we have during Saturdays and Sundays. Since you belong to, I think you belong to the southern region, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Southern region, near Madurai. Yeah.
Near Madurai. Okay. So the weekly meeting for southern region is on Sunday 3 to 5:30 p.m. You can join that, and you can also give some demo presentations in that also. You're welcome to join the weekly meetings, Priya.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you.
Thank you. So nice. Anybody else would like to give your sharing before we pass on to the content?
And another thing, Bhaiya, what we have done is we have a magazine in which VSVN knowledge share. So for that, we have given one-page article of our experience. What are the key takeaways from the UHV course? So that will be distributed to all the students. VSVN knowledge share. So we are very happy that we attended this, and we are disseminating to all the students. And for the induction program also, we have requested our principal to give one session for the students induction program. Thank you.
Yeah, nice, very nice. So when you add this takeaways, you can add an event also. That will be good. If you connect this with an example, the students will be able to connect it very nicely. Yeah, that is my exploration. So you can just connect one small event with this, so that the students can be they'll be able to connect it very easily. Nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely will do it. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you. Yeah, so we'll go into the continuation of what we have been discussing in the previous meeting. We started discussion about relationships in the last meeting. In one of the previous discussions, we have seen that for human beings to fulfill the basic aspirations of happiness and prosperity in continuity, we require physical facility. We started with that. And then we saw that physical facility is not enough, because having physical facility is not going to ensure our happiness and even prosperity, though physical facility is connected to prosperity. But if you do not understand what is prosperity in the right sense, this is not going to suffice for prosperity also. We see that something else is required, and this something else we recognized as the relationship. And as we see over here, the relationship is there, already there, but we only need to recognize it. That is what is necessary. So we also have seen in the previous meeting that the relationship is between oneself and another self. It is not the attraction which we usually see between one body to another body, but it is the feelings between oneself and another self. The body is used for expression of these feelings. So there are feelings in a relationship in oneself for another self, and those can be recognized. And they are definite. So this is what we have been exploring in the previous meeting. The fulfillment of the feelings leads to mutual happiness. We also have identified that the relationship, even though it is there between two, say, human beings, many times what happens is we get into some kind of an opposition based on events. So when it happens based on events, again, some kind of struggle can occur that may lead to some kind of fights, maybe not speaking to the other for many days, sometimes many months, it may happen. And we patch it up again. And then again, this cycle may go on. So what is necessary is right understanding. This is what we have discussed in that particular session. So right understanding is standing on top on a relationship in terms of priority. Then we require relationship. So when the relationship is guided by the right understanding, that is understanding harmony at all the 4 levels, then the interaction with the other human being will lead to mutual happiness. That is what we have been exploring in the previous sessions. And then once the work with the rest of the nature is assisted by, or rather that is guided by this right understanding, then we will be having a knowledge about how much is required, how much physical facility is required for me. And accordingly, I can have or produce physical facilities. And when I have a feeling that I have more than required physical facility, that is prosperity. So this is how we go about in that particular session. And now we explore a little bit further into what is this relationship and what are the feelings in relationship. So can we go ahead from here? These are the 4 fundamental things, 4 aspects with regard to a relationship, understanding relationship. So relationship is there, already there. We need to recognize that between one self and another self. There are feelings in relationship. These feelings can be recognized, and the fulfillment of the feelings lead to mutual happiness. Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask through the raise hand option, or you can put in the chat box also. Nice. To explore it a little bit further, if we discuss this may be a bit more clear. Supposedly, let us just ask the questions to ourselves. What is naturally acceptable to us? Is it a feeling of trust or mistrust? You can respond in the chat box. Is it a feeling of trust or mistrust? You can ask this question yourself and just respond in the chat box whether it is a feeling of trust or mistrust. Yeah, if it is trust, you can just type T. Mistrust, you can type M in the chat box. Until Ushaji, their messages show that it is trust. That is what is naturally acceptable. Yeah. Suryagan Bhaiya is also typing trust. Very nice. So though we are exposed to this content, we can continuously ask this to ourselves. Even now also I'm asking the same question, whether the feeling of trust or mistrust. And if I ask you with regard to respect or disrespect, what do you say? What is naturally acceptable if it is respect or disrespect? You can type R or D in the chat box, respect or disrespect. Respect for sure. Ansel Ushaji, yeah. Suriganji, very nice. So this is helping our exploration and also that of the others. Very nice. Affection or jealousy, yeah. If any questions are there, you can raise your hand. The mic can be given to you. I could see a hand raised, but now it is not there. Affection or jealousy, gratitude or ingratitude, love or hatred. Even before we go into the discussion of these feelings, with the prevailing notion of these feelings, we can just try to explore this. So the naturally acceptable responses from any person, anywhere in the world, and any time would be what is naturally acceptable? That is trust, respect, affection, gratitude, love, care, guidance, etc. Are you able to see this? This is naturally acceptable, yeah, feelings. Minajus Naranji, you have a question? Your hand is raised. Mic is already given to you.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is our natural acceptance. To have this feeling of trust, respect, affection, gratitude, love, etc. is our natural acceptance. Now, when we have these feelings in us, or when we own these feelings in us, does it lead to our happiness? When we express them to the other, does it lead to the happiness of the other? What do you think? the naturally acceptable feelings, when we have these feelings with us, does it lead to our happiness? Also, when we express them, like to express respect, we have several ways of expressing this. We fold our hands before the other person to express respect. If it is an elderly person, sometimes we touch their feet to express respect. If it's a friend or something who is like a peer to me, what I do is I shake hands. So there are several ways of expressing respect. In speaking, also I see that I use a respectable kind of a language, whatever. This is some way of expression. So does it lead to the happiness in the other? Or does the opposite of this, mistrust, disrespect, etc., that lead to happiness? So one thing is, when we have these feelings, when we have these naturally acceptable feelings in us, it leads to our happiness. Are we able to see this? And when we express these naturally acceptable feelings with the other, then it leads to happiness of the other also. That is a proposal which we can explore. Can we see that our complaints in relationship are due to the absence of one or more of these feelings? And we try to compensate with physical facility. Suppose I am in opposition with my friend, let's say. After some time, I feel that I have to patch it up. So when I meet him, I purchase a gift, something which is of his liking, give it to him, and then start a conversation. So just passing a gift and trying to get a relationship from that, does it work? Does the feelings can be compensated with such physical facilities? Do you think that when we pass such kind of physical facilities, or maybe in the form of gifts, that leads to patching up of the relationship? Or is it the, yeah, Ansil, you want to speak something? You raised hand, that's fine. All right, anyway, the mic is with you. You can speak anytime. So when we meet, say, our friend with whom we are in opposition, if we try to patch this, I mean, this has happened several times to me. When I tried to patch it up with some kind of physical facility, it didn't work out. Maybe momentarily, the friend may be happy. But if I am not, okay, Ansel, I saw your message. Yeah, fine. If I am not continuing my relationship with this naturally acceptable feelings, if I still continue with my opposition, but try to patch it up with some physical facility, it does not work. Rather, it is going in the reverse way. So the complaints in relationship may not be able to be patched up by this physical facilities, but ensuring the right feeling, first of all within me, and then with the other. This will lead to my own happiness, and also this will lead to mutual happiness with the other. Are you able to see this? When we have some kind of complaints with the other in relationship, if we try to patch it up with the naturally acceptable feelings, ensuring the feelings within us, even without any opposition inside, if we approach the other and discuss the matter with the other, then even if there is an opposition in the other for me, that is going to get diluted. May take time, but still, if you work things out, this will be getting diluted, and finally, this naturally acceptable feelings, as we discuss here, when we express the feelings to the other, this leads to happiness of the other also. The result is mutual happiness. So this naturally acceptable feelings are can be ensured within me when I have this right understanding. Understanding harmony in myself, understanding harmony in the family. I will be having this naturally acceptable feelings, and I can, in my interaction with the other, this will be expressed through my body, and that is ensuring mutual happiness. This is what we try to explore over here. Any questions regarding this? Or any exploration from your side? Any examples which you can quote? Well, almost all of us are going through this content several times. That is why almost many of us, including the students who are sitting here, are settled down in such kind of content. That is very nice. But one thing which you can do, what we can do here is, we can add, say, some of the events which is happening in our life, so as to verify and validate these proposals. And that will enrich, once we share some of the events which is happening in our life, that will enrich others also to validate the proposals. So if we analyze the current state, some of us are unhappy, I would say, today, because we have not understood these feelings and we assume that they are not in us. I can see a message from Ansil that rather than materialistic requirements, we require, or rather I require, right understanding for smooth relationship. Nice, Ansil. That is what we are discussing. Very, very true. Very nice. So in the current state, yeah. Okay. In my current state, we are unhappy because we have not understood these feelings and we assume that they are not in us. We not only expect the other to express these feelings to us, we only expect the other to express these feelings to us. So my bowl is empty. I want respect. I want to be respected. I want to be trusted. So I beg with to the other that give me respect. Do we do this? If you give me respect, I will give you respect. Like you say, we say give and take. Is it happening with us? If the other expresses these feelings to us, we feel happy. If the other does not express these feelings to us, we feel unhappy. Does it happen to you? Is it your current scenario? Or through exploration of these proposals, are we overcoming this particular feeling? I can say this happened many times to me, that the feelings, when I feel that the other is not respecting me, I also start losing respect. When the other is not trusting me, I also start losing trust in the other. When the other is, say, if I feel that the other is cheating me, I feel that the other is not to be trusted. These kind of expressions were there in me. But once I underwent this particular program, then this trust and intention, which we are going to discuss sooner than later, is ensured within me, and I could overcome this. So we only expect the other to express his feelings because my bowl is empty. If the other expresses these feelings to us, we feel happy. If the other does not, we feel unhappy. So I don't have these feelings with me. That's my feeling. My bowl is empty. But what is the reality? The reality is the feelings are there. The relationship is there, so the feelings are also there. What we need to do is, we need to recognize this relationship with every human being and the naturally acceptable feelings in these relationships. We will try to explore this further. If there is any question, you can put in the chat box. And sharing also, the sharing would be wonderful because it is enriching to every one of us. Yeah, in this situation, we get to get respect. We try many things, like we relate respect with physical facility, as we discussed just now. By handing over gift to the other, we try to express this feeling of respect. But does it work out? Sometimes we copy appearance. Sometimes we copy language of the other, lifestyle of the other, saying that the other is getting respect because of this. These also are tried by some of us, maybe, to get respect. So is this respect like give and take? What do you think? Give respect and take respect, or is it something else? Or do we always accept respect and give respect occasionally? What do you say? Do we go by these ways, like offering physical facilities to get respect, to have something in my bowl? Do we sometimes copy appearance, language, lifestyle, etc. to get this respect? It is not give and take, Ushaji. Okay, if it is not give and take, what is it? And still is typing, current scenario is give and take. State which we want to be absent, which we want to be is absence of this give and take policy, and always follow give and give. Nice, very nice, very nice. We naturally have respect for everyone, Ushaji. Yeah. So when we have naturally have this respect, feeling of respect for everyone, which is there, and we need to recognize it, there is no take. We just give. Right. And as Ansel is pointing out, it is a give and give scenario. There is no give and take. When we try to take it, when we are taking it, rather we try to take it, my bowl is empty. That's why I'm taking it. I need something like respect, which I cannot find otherwise. But as Uchaji is pointing out, we naturally, it is there naturally, and we naturally express this respect for everyone. Very true. Okay, so give and give. Today, people are not able to express the feelings of respect to others because they don't have it, but they are trying hard to get it from others, as we discussed just now. So this is happening with many people, but we have been exploring with regard to this content. So we are trying to come out of this, as Ansil, Ushaji are pointing out in the chat box. It is like everyone is begging for respect and everybody's bowl is empty. Yeah. And the way forward is, the most fundamental thing is to understand these feelings. In this way, understanding the feeling, ensuring the feeling, expressing the feeling, and the right evaluation of the feeling lead to mutual happiness. But how do we understand the feelings? How do we say that one feeling is naturally acceptable? How do we ensure that it is naturally acceptable? And then how do we ensure the feeling within us? Once this feeling is there, ensured within us, then I can express it. And then the right evaluation of the feelings, mutual evaluation, I would say, of the feelings lead to this mutual happiness. Let us try to explore this much further. We will try to understand the feeling of trust, which is the foundation feeling. The foundation value, trust. This is what we put forward as the first proposal of trust, or the fundamental thing. Trust is to be assured. Ashwasthana. If we go into the details, you see that it is to have the clarity that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. But are we able to see this always? That the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. So we used to ask these questions ourselves. And also, as an exercise, we ask these questions to the others too, evaluating trust. The first set of questions about your and also mine, I would say, because I cannot say your here, it is about natural acceptance of everyone. There is no your, there is no mine, but it is natural acceptance. I want to make myself happy. Though we have explored it many times, you can still continue responding in the chat box. What do you say? If it is a question, do you want to make yourself happy? Yes. Nice. Yeah. Jagdish Bhaiya, Ushaji, typing yes in the chat box. It is good. Even this is very fundamental question. Just try as part of exploration. Let us try just typing what is naturally coming out as a response. Yes, Surigant Bhaiya, Ansil G. Very nice. Very good. Yeah, Shashigant Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya. Nice. I want to make the other happy. Do I? Second question. I want to make the other happy. Do you want to make the other happy? What is your natural acceptance? Yes. Jagdish Bhaiya. Nice. Shashikant Bhaiya. Yes. Ansil. Thank you. Yes. Question number 3A. The other wants to make herself. Yeah, Surigant Bhaiya. Thank you so much. Other wants to make herself, himself happy. What do you say? Yes. Shashikant Bhaiya. Nice. So this is our natural acceptance. And the fourth question is the other wants to make me happy. So as if we are a new explorer, we can respond to this as if we are seeing the questions for the first time. The other wants to make me happy. That's the other. If you can see the intention of the other. Yeah, Ushaji is typing yes here also. So here we are actually exploring about the intention of myself. Yeah, Shashikant Bhaiya is typing after UHV, all at home are practicing exploring. Yeah, that is very good. So this is the one of the outcomes of this UHV program and the proposals. Whenever we share things with others, maybe our members at home, our relatives, our friends, or our colleagues, students, whoever it is, the content is coming in every part of our sharing, every part of our discussion. This is happening with me too. And slowly, knowingly or unknowingly, we transfer these proposals. The good part of that, I would say, the naturally acceptable part. But whatever proposals we verify, this will be transferred to the other slowly. The other is also getting benefit out of this. So we can ask these questions, these 4 questions regarding the natural acceptance to the other also and get their response. It's interesting to get the response in the first instance when they see these questions. Right. So when we ask these questions to the students, the response may be like this, as many of us pointed out, or rather respond on the chat box. I want to make myself happy, I can say this. I want to make the other happy, I can say this. The other wants to make herself or himself happy. This is a consequence of 1A, so I can see this also, because the other is like me. So I can see this, that the other also wants to make herself or himself happy. Yeah, Shashikant Bhaiya, it is getting transferred naturally, Bhaiya. Very nice. Very nice. That's it. Natural transformation. Very good. Yeah. when we ask this fourth question, many times the students or a new co-explorer may have a doubt in this. That is why we put a question mark over here. But we then try to explore this. So the first two questions are regarding natural acceptance of with regard to me. These two questions pertain to me, or say you, right? I want to make myself happy. I want to make the other happy. This is my want, what I want to be. Whereas these two questions, 3A and 4A, are his or her, the other, what the other wants to be. So you can say this is my natural acceptance and this is the natural acceptance of the other, but there is nothing like his natural acceptance or my natural acceptance. There is only one. That is why these four questions are coming under natural acceptance or intention. So seeing that the intention of the other is same as that of me, is this exercise, that is the purpose of this exercise. Then we ask these questions of competence on the other side about the ability part. Like, I'm able to make myself always happy. What do you think? Are you able to make yourself always happy? Then the word always is there. No, Ushaji, thank you. This is my current status. And with regard to my ability, I'm not able to make myself always happy. Maybe at the current moment, present moment, I may be happy, but not sure always whether I am able to make myself always happy. I'm able to make the other always happy. Am I? This is with regard to my ability or my competence. Am I able to make the other always happy? Let the other be your close relative, let us say. Yeah, Ushaji can see that as per her ability or her competence, this is not always possible. I can also see that it is not always possible to make the other happy. Yeah, similarly, if you see this question number 3B, the other is able to make herself or himself always happy. Well, if I cannot see that I'm not able to make myself always happy, what about the other? It is a bit difficult for me to see that whether the other is able to make herself or himself always happy. What do you think? Then we ask this fourth question. The other is able to make me always happy. Yeah, so the responses would be, if you ask this to, even with, after verifying the proposals also, even we ask the questions with ourselves, the responses which we may get naturally would be, there is a doubt here because the word always is there. Here also there is a doubt. Here also there is a question mark. And here there can be double question mark because it is question number 4 is already having a question mark. I cannot see whether what is the want of the other in the first instance. So how can I see what is the ability or the competence of the other? For me, it is a bit difficult to see. That is why there is double question mark. So these questions are with regard to the competence of the other, what you are currently. And these questions are with regard to the intention or natural acceptance or what you want to be. What is naturally acceptable to you, or what is naturally acceptable to us? This is these questions. Now, after going through this exercise, asking these questions to the other, we can have an evaluation of this. Yeah, you see these two questions and the response are given in one box, and these two questions are given in a second box. What happens is when we evaluate myself, when I evaluate myself, I evaluate myself on the basis of these two questions. Are you able to see this? When you evaluate yourself, are you evaluating on the basis of these two questions or some other? What is my want? What is my purpose? What I want to be? Do I want to make myself always happy? Do I want to make the other always happy? Even if I do not say always here, it is implied because this is natural acceptance. And always is a word which reflects time. But since this is time invariant, this natural acceptance is time invariant, which is my innate faculty. And that is same for every person at every time. It is true. Every place it is true. Even I do not say this always, this is fine. So based on these two questions and the responses, I evaluate myself. I want to make myself always happy. And I want to make the other always happy. So my intention is true. It is right. But when I evaluate the other, do I evaluate based on his or her competence or intention? The box which you see here on the right bottom is the competence of the other person. Can you see this? The other is able to make herself or himself always happy. I have a doubt upon this. And also the other is able to make me always happy. I have a double doubt upon this. But when I evaluate the other based on his or her ability, this doubt always comes. I cannot have trust if that is the case. Even in this, the SIP which is going on currently, when the question of happiness is asked, whether what is your basic aspiration, do you want to be happy always? When this question is asked, there were some responses like, no, I don't want to be happy always. So the clarity was not there with regard to the want part or the naturally acceptable intention part and the competence part. Many times we mix up with this intention and competence. Intention is my desired state. And everybody wants to reach the same desired state. The destination is same for everyone. But the competence is different. I have a different level of competence. The other is also having a different level of competence. So this is what we are trying to explore upon. What you are and what is naturally acceptable to you. Do we have any sharing or question with regard to this exploration? Any sharing, any incident which you can relate to this? Because this is a content which we have been seeing for long. So anything which you can relate to validate the proposal of intention and competence, or any questions with regard to this when you try to verify this or validate this in your life. When you come across some questions, you can place it over here for the benefit of everyone. If you raise your hand, mic will be given to you. All right, in that case, we will just try to complete this proposal. And what is the proposal? Say after evaluating this, that will be placed before we come to a closure of today's discussion. So this is something which we have discussed in the previous session also, the state of imagination. When it is random and disorganized, this is my state. I have this power or force of desire, thoughts, and expectations, and everyone is having this power. It is there with everyone, but the desires, thoughts, expectations are different for different person, but this power is there. The potential is there with every person. And the source of this imagination is different for different person. I mean, the the content of this imagination, which is guided by preconditioning, sensation, and natural acceptance. This is different for different person. This is a rough sketch shown here, that the majority part in my current state, the majority of this imagination is guided by preconditioning, and the second largest part is guided by this sensation. Only a very small part is guided by self-verification through my natural acceptance. So my desire is not same as my intention. That is what is being depicted by through this figure or through this slide. My desire and intention are not the same. Desire also is only a very small part of my is only one part of my imagination, but intention is my natural acceptance. But what I say as competence is that part of my imagination which is guided by my natural acceptance. These are the proposals with which we can ponder upon. Any questions regarding this particular slide? That the key points here or the key proposals here are: desire is not same as intention or natural acceptance, and competence is that part of my imagination which is guided by natural acceptance. These two things. Any sharing from your side with regard to this? So when I have my imagination guided by largely by this preconditioning and sensation, I have this doubt on intention of the other. I may sometimes misinterpret this desire with intention also. I may not be able to see that the other wants to make me happy. So this is the major problem in this, what we call as doubt on intention is one of the major problems.
But yeah, there is actually confusion between intention and competence at the present society.
Right, right.
Because of that only people misunderstand and are not able to practice. Even after attending the UHV, they are not able to practice the proposals.
Yeah, that is true, Bhaiya. Even day before yesterday also, I have been discussing not this content, but the first content, what is the basic human aspiration, that thing with my students. There is a large audience only, so but there were several exploration by the students stating that no, I don't want to be happy always because I cannot.
Again, they are preconditioned and they attach their happiness only with material things.
Material things, very true.
Yes.
But since it is the first meeting, I could not convince. I cannot try and convince them that this is not the. I just asked them to just continue exploring. And when we reach the 6th day, the last day of this particular program, probably you can ask the question once again. We can discuss it.
Yes. Yeah. It takes its own time.
It takes time. Very true.
It takes time. Yes. Thank you.
As you rightly pointed out, still many of us are confused with this intention and competence. That is why we place this content here. And trust on intention is the key point in the coming slide. Right. So intention is my natural acceptance. That is what I want to be. That is my desired state. But desire is a part of my imagination, just a part of my imagination. And competence is that part of my imagination which is guided by natural acceptance. So these are the key things. My behavior with the other human beings will lead to will be getting affected by my imagination for sure, and work with the rest of the nature is also getting affected by my imagination. Okay, so with this clarity upon desire and natural acceptance and competence, we will go forward a little bit further before we close it. All right. Yeah. So we usually take this example to clarify the intention and competence. When the other broke a glass, what we say is he broke the glass, intentionally broke the glass. He is doing it every time, and he does this mistake intentionally. I have doubt on his intention. I have a feeling of opposition, get irritated, angry. I reinforce that the other is bad and cannot improve at all. Does it happen with you? At the same time, if I do it, that broke by accident. Even if I do it 100 times, multiple times, I never doubt my intention. I make mistakes by accident. I have a feeling I'm special. I reinforce that I'm good. I do not make effort to improve my own competence. Even if I come late to my institution, I say that this is because of traffic block. And if otherwise, I say some other reason, that it is not my mistake, but it is because of somebody else's mistake. I intend to come to the college or the institution at the right time, but somehow I got late because of so and so reasons. I put this blame upon the other. I never doubt my intention. But if the other is coming late, suppose I am a superior officer and other is coming late, I say that he is a born latecomer. Do I? Do you? And he does it intentionally. This is how I evaluate this particular situation. So what we say here is doubt on intention is a major reason for problems in relationship. As Shashikan Bhai rightly pointed out, still people are confused with regard to this intention and competence. I evaluate myself on the basis of my intention, but I evaluate the other on the basis of his or her competence. So when I evaluate the other on the basis of their competence, I doubt on their intention. I may not speak to the other for days or even break up the relationship. One may have lost many good friends like this. So it is nice if anyone of you can place your sharing with regard to this, because this is a very common example, rather which we have seen in the workshop multiple times. And we see that this is doubt on intention is a major source, major reason for problems in relationship also. We will see how to come out of this. And so before going to that particular slide, if any one of you has any sharing with you, it is nice to listen to that. Or any questions with regard to the content, we can just try to explore. There are very few minutes to close the session too, so it is nice if there is some sharing from your side. Any of the attendees or panelists?
Yeah, it is good that UHV has been introduced and we are part of it now. Time has come, I think, to change the world society. And that too, again, it has to start from our country only. Really proud of all the persons, especially the who started this UHV, to make ourselves better humans and to again go back to human consciousness than animal consciousness. as these two terms are again asked again and again during the workshop, online workshop.
Mm.
Yes, Priya. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, very true. So these two words are being asked again and again in the workshops. Very true, Bhaiya. Because many times we see that animals are very good. So
Yeah, that's
this
what.
animal consciousness. That is why this question comes.
Yes.
But we never blame animals in for any cause.
Yes. Nowhere it is blamed actually.
Yeah.
Only thing that we are using animal consciousness because animals are with only material things they live.
Right.
And that's what human beings also are doing with material things only. They are more and more concentrating and more they are spending on.
True. Yeah. So if you are the animals are largely working for physical facilities, that is the point.
Yes.
And if human beings are also working largely for physical facilities, because they have this power of knowing. If you just assume without this knowledge, that may lead to unhappiness. That is a point which we have tried to bring their attention to. That's it. But that will be settled once they come to the last day of the workshop. Right. Thank you. Yeah. So any other exploration by participants? I don't think we have time to go to the next slide where we explore this, rather open up this trust as a trust on intention part. We will discuss about that part maybe in detail in the next session. So before we close, if there is any question or any comment by any participant, we can take it up either in the chat box or with the mic. Yeah, I cannot see any hand raised, and I cannot see any questions in the chat box also. So this is a content which every one of us is exploring very nicely, I suppose. And there are not many questions. So everyone is trusting the intention of every other human being. That is very nice. I want to make you happy, and you also want to make me happy. I can see that you want to make me happy, and the other is also want to make me happy. That I never doubt my intention. I never doubt the intention of the other. And when I evaluate, the first evaluation is on the basis of intention. Trust on intention is there, and then I go on evaluating the competence. And this complementarity part is going to be discussed in the next session. So because of time, I just stop here and thank everyone for your patient listening and your sharing, either using the mic or using the chat box. Thank you, Paya. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.